That's right, we're coming to you live here at Globe Tower right here in BGC. Again, what a privilege it is to be here amongst all of you guys. You know what? We have one thing in common, and that's definitely gaming. Gaming industry, esports in general, has excelled so much to a point of when I was playing, when I was in my younger days, and I'm sure you guys have. Let's go through a little exercise. I gotta get everybody to stand up. Since it's the morning, this is the morning, I gotta get everyone to stand up. Everyone to stand up. First of all, we got some of the biggest names here today. Biggest organizations, biggest companies. A round of applause, guys. A round of applause. Biggest companies, biggest names in the gaming esports industry today. We are witnessing truth. We're witnessing and establishing, building the future of esports. You know why I'm so emotional? Grabe. When I was on Showtime, I'm supposed to be on stage hosting. Sometimes I was caught because I was playing video games in the back. I brought my laptop. I'm so emotional about this because I've been such a gamer when I was young. I'm sure you guys can say that. When I say emotional, this is what I mean. Muntik kami divorce na asawa ko. We almost broke up because she came from Seattle. She goes, I came here to be with you. Why are you spending so much time on that laptop or in the internet cafe? Bakit? Saan ang pagmamahal, di ba? I'm like, I'm sorry, because I wouldn't say addiction. I'm not addicted. You're not addicted. We're passionate. We're passionate, right? We're passionate about what we play and what we do and what we believe in. And look at it today. Look where we are today. Today is a big, gigantic step. I wouldn't even say step. We're not walking. We're running right now. We are running into the future building of esports here in the Philippines. So anyway, long story short, just to cut that, we did, because she knows and sees the potential of esports here in the Philippines. What a blessing. A round of applause, everybody. So now, let's get to the real part. So without further ado, we got so many blessed, so many distinguished guests, partners, I should say, that are here today with us. And first, let us introduce and acknowledge Globe's President and CEO, Maininong Soweddington, Mr. Ernest Koo. And next, Chief Commercial Officer, Mr. Albert De Larazabal. Next, we have Senior Vice President for Content Business, Mr. Nico Acosta. I would also like to welcome all our friends from the gaming industry, especially one that I've worked with so many times over the last couple of years. From Riot, their Managing Director, from Greater China and Southeast Asia, Mr. Johnson Yang. Thank you very much, Brian. And now, let's move on to Garena, which is headed by the Vice President for Group Game Operations, Mr. Jason Ung. See, it's just like the Avengers. We're all combining, you know? Just like Mr. Thanos right there. And last, but certainly not the least, was the first time I've been to an event where these guys are present. I must say, this is a privilege to have you guys here from GAP, Games and Amusement Board of the Philippines. Attorney Irmar Benitez. Attorney General Abang. And Miss Cynthia Daniel. Thank you very much for being here with us. Witnessing a legacy that is about to be built. So, as I was saying, just like it says here, you know, we are creating gaming heroes, building the future of esports. And today, a dynasty has been created. And that's because of you guys, these wonderful people that are here, because they believe in the vision. They see it. Because they know the potential of esports, not just here in the Philippines, globally, internationally. And as you saw in the video earlier, who wants to go to the World Championship, right? We want to see the Philippines on the map. We would also like to mention Mr. Ronald Robbins. Thank you, Mr. Ronald, good to see you again. I didn't see because you're guaponess, but thank you for being here with us also. So I'm sure you guys are asking, what is the purpose and why are we here today? Anong layunin? Anong dahilan? You know? We all come from different walks of life. I'm from New Zealand, Australia. I play games just like yourself. You might be from China. You might be from the Philippines. You might be from the US, or wherever you may be. We're all here gathered. We're all chosen. We're all champions. We're all challengers. And one thing that I want to put out, I see some of my friends there representing AOV. These guys, they train just like how much we work. We go to our daily jobs, 9 to 5 or maybe even more, 12-hour shifts. These players, these challengers, they do the same. They're like athletes. From my background, I used to be a Philippine volcano. I say used to because I'm a little older now. I gotta let the younger guys play the way. But people don't know how much time, effort, passion for the love of the game, as our hashtag is, hashtag for the love, Globe Gaming, that we have to invest in to become a professional player. But I'll tell you one thing. I've seen so many kids, young kids, 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, in somewhere in Bulacan at an internet cafe, and they are some of the best players in the Philippines. But we're scouting them now. This is the potential of Philippine gaming or esports here in our country. We got these guys, we got these athletes, we got to just scout them out, bring them to life, give them a job, become an athlete of the Philippines. Just like us as a Philippine Volcanoes rugby team, we train hard. We go in there, we put in the physical effort. As an athlete here in esports, it's similar. You have to be actively strong, mentally strong, not just physically strong. You gotta give it all. And I'm sure those guys will. Is it Brain Sports? There we go, Brain Sports from AOV. They're hoping to take out Valor Cup 2, which we'll be talking about later on. But that's what we want to show and tell you guys today, that this is an international market. This is the building of esports. We're creating something great, and we are here to be a part of this and witness history as a partnership, right? As a partnership. We have Riot, we have Mineski, we have Globe, we have Garena, we have them all here for the first time here in one building, right here, right now. So, I gotta move on, I gotta heat up, I gotta get my towel and wipe my sweat off. But we wanna ask someone very, very important today, not just for you guys, but for me as my new mom. We would like to call upon, for a few words and encouragement, Globe's President and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Ernest Koo.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric. So much energy that guy in the room all eats up. But anyway, hey, today's turnout's an indication I think we've got a big hit. So why don't we get some of the guys to move over here, if you guys are okay? If you guys can see, there's some seats and space over there. Please feel welcome to go and move around. Well, today I think it's very historic, right? You know, for esports in the Philippines. I don't think there's been this kind of resource and combination that's been put together to be able to promote esports in the Philippines. You know, as Globe, we always look for what our consumers' preferences are. We look and examine how their habits are shifting, how their usage is going, and there is no doubt that esports is one of the things that they want to do. So, typical to what we do, we take out of our playbook in video and music. We look at that, we dip our toes in the water with a few sponsorships, trying to learn the space. Then we look at the array of partners available, and then check them out and see who's popular, who's great, who's doing the great things out there. And then see who's willing. Because partnership is all about a two-way thing. They gotta have the spirit, the passion, and the drive, and the willingness to work with someone like us and put the combination together. Just like when we did for video with Netflix, with Disney, right? They saw the value of partnering with a company like Globe. One with marketing reach, one with the financial strength, one with a desire to serve up the Filipino digital lifestyle, and then come together and build something great. Elevate the Filipino into the world stage. I think we've had one indication of that. Recently, we brought the first Filipino full-length movie into Netflix on March 26th. A film called Birdshot, right? Through Globe Studios. And many more coming in the works. Now we have the ambition to bring esports, Philippine esports, into the world stage as well. As they say, create gaming heroes, right? Filipinos love heroes. And of late, I can only remember today one significant sports hero, and that's Senator Manny Pacquiao, right? And you remember EDSA clears out the only time ever in a non-Christmas or Good Friday, you can lie down on EDSA when Manny Pacquiao is fighting. Unfortunately, his career is about to end, or ended, or whatever, it depends on the opinion. But, it's time to bring on a new set of heroes for this country. This country also does not have, you would say, a sports culture. When you go to the US, you see there's so many people watching sports. In Europe, football. Really rabid fans of that particular genre. Right? In the US, you got basketball, you got baseball, you got football, you got hockey. You got so many sports all over the place for people to enjoy and rally around, favorite teams, right? And so much money being flowed into it. You see NBA teams being sold for a couple of billion US dollars, right? That's only a fledgling team. If you get a team like the Lakers or the Cavaliers now or the Warriors, that's going to be the multi-billion US dollar game. But we have not had that success in the Philippines. Why not? So I think today, by this combination, we chose the best in the business, right? With Arena, with Riot, the leading game, League of Legends, to be here in the Philippines. I think this is the time to do it. Globe, with all of its resources, commits to actually making a very big attempt. I'm not saying we're going to be successful here. We don't know. Right? Again, I'm a novice in this. By the way, I have to admit, I only downloaded Arena of Valor last night at a cocktail party. That's because I was telling someone about this event, and I said, "Shit, man, I have not even tried this game." My son is a gamer, I'm not. Right? And so somebody here told me that now I know why you were downloading that game last night. So I think to actually be good at developing something, you've got to be into it. And so, with all of you, Globe commits a lot of its resources. It commits its playbook. Remember we brought Spotify to the Philippines. It changed the world of music in the Philippines. We took out the illegal use of music single-handedly by the bringing of Spotify to this country, the partnership. We brought video streaming into the limelight in this country. And now we want to bring esports into the forefront of gaming. And we hope that through the government support as well, you'll be able to support us and help us in making this succeed and bring the first Filipino esports gaming talent into the world stage. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you very much, Sir Ernest Koo. And as he said, there's a time and season in all things right now. And today, it's time. So right now, we would like to call upon our next guest speaker right now. We'd like to call him on stage from Greater China and Southeast Asia, Mr. Johnson Ye.
Thank you, everyone. Great to have this opportunity to speak to everyone and highlight the importance of eSport and the importance of this global partnership. So, when the host was opening, he actually made me think of something. like, why is esport such an attractive phenomenon, especially in Asia? And then, what I actually found out over the last few years is, think about the mass participation sports around the world. Not like ping pong or like badminton. Like, think about the soccers, like basketballs of the world. Yes, you can add cricket, but where is the mass participation sport where East Asians are really good at it? It's really hard to think of it. But here, in esport, I think that it's not about physical ability. It's actually anyone can win. No matter what your background is, no matter where your, what your physical ability is, these esport players, they train 12, 14 hours a day. But it takes a different skill set than most other sports. But it sells the same dream. It sells the same amount of aspiration as any sport. That if you work hard, if you have the intrinsics, you don't need to be physically very strong, and you can still succeed. And to me, that's what the attractiveness of esport is in this region. It gives every one of us a dream that we can truly try to fulfill. So esport has really came to the center stage over the last few years. Just in China last year alone, League of Legends esport, we broadcasted more than 3 billion hours of esport content. And that takes us to the level of like an NBA or like a Chinese basketball level. And we feel like this is not where we stop. We're here to make esport a global phenomenon. You probably heard that esport is already going to be part of the Asian Games in 2022. It's actually being in the discussion with IOC, potentially for Paris 2024 in the Olympics. So esport is really becoming, a real phenomenon. But in order for this to happen, we need every kind of support possible. And that's why I'm so excited today to be here, because our collaboration with Globe, as part of our Southeast Asian tourney, to have the Manila Open this year, which will have our World Championship implications for League of Legends, is such an important step. Because for it to be a sport, right, it needs to be truly recognized globally. And esport has been huge. It started, in Korea, US, Europe, has all been part of major regions. China is where our biggest viewership is. But Southeast Asia, this entire region of 600 million population, we feel like this is the next step. This is the region that we really want to conquer for esport. And we already have a great foundation here. And with partners like Globe to work together with us in cultivating the audience, in making the players excited about esport. That's what it's going to really take to take esport to the next stage. So I'm really excited about this partnership. I feel like an innovative partner like Globe will really take us forward. So for the gamers in the world, for everyone who loves Asian participation into mass sports, for all the dreamers in the world, let's shape this together. Let's make esport the most legitimate, one of the most legitimate sports. Let's work together on this. Thank you, everyone.
That's right. Round of applause. Thank you very much, Johnson. Thank you, sir. Privilege to have you. And as he said, we could be part of the SEA Games. So we've got to start preparing, start becoming athletes. You guys in Pilipinas, alam niyo na. We're going to mark that, put that mark on the map. Philippines will be there, and we're going to bring it, and that's a definite. So next, we'll have in to give us a few words. We'll have Garena's Vice President for Group Game Operations, Mr. Jason Ang. Round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for making the time to be with us today. I believe everyone that follows gaming and esports in Philippines and Southeast Asia will know that Garena have long been supporters of gaming and esports, not only here but across Southeast Asia. Way back in 2010, even before we started the very first League of Legends server in Singapore, we actually flew a team of Filipinos from here to Singapore to participate in qualifiers for the World Cyber Games that were happening in Los Angeles that year. Nobody knew what they were doing back then, right? 2010, no server, and they were very early days. Unfortunately, the Filipino team didn't make it that day, but there's always another chance. Sometime later, we actually filmed the entire event. So if you don't believe me, we actually have it on YouTube until today, so you can go check it out. In 2012, Garena said, hey, let's do something a bit more serious. So we started the first inter-regional, fully professional League of Legends league in the form of the Garena Premier League. This is way before anyone else did any of this. And along with that, we created the first professional Filipino League of Legends team, the Manila Eagles, those of you that will remember. And then further on, as the ecosystem matured, we expanded even further. Country-specific leagues, campus tournaments, all-female tournaments, and always pushing out into new communities that had never experienced organized play. This was always a big part of our mantra, making sure esports is available to everybody. It's always been our dream, our goal, to elevate esports to the next level, and we believe the announcements we have today do exactly that. Let me start first with League of Legends. So we are extremely happy to be working with Globe, Mineski and Riot, other partners on the Globe Conquers Manila. So this is slated to happen in August, and it is the biggest prize pool event we've ever seen, not only in Philippines, but across the entire Southeast Asia. And we're going to give away a cool $250,000 US to all the teams that show up. So this is big money. It will also be held at the Moa Arena, the biggest venue we've ever had for League of Legends in Philippines. So I'll be very excited about that. You should be too. And we'll see the very best teams from Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia vying for a direct spot to the League of Legends World Championships later this year. And this is to declare a direct spot, right? Previous years we had to go through the wildcard qualifiers, and Riot being willing to give us a direct spot is a very strong recognition of the strength of esports in the region, and we thank you for that. A team from Mineski, actually people don't know, a team from Mineski back in 2013 were the first and the last Filipino team to stand on the world stage at the League of Legends World Championship back in 2013. And I certainly hope that the Globe Conquers Manila will spur another Filipino team to once again stand on the global stage against the very best League of Legends teams in the world. In addition to the Globe Conquers Manila, we have a few other initiatives that we're working on with Globe that we will announce very shortly, so stay tuned for that. I'll switch now to Arena of Valor. So if we spoke to someone back in 2010, just around 8 years ago, about mobile gaming, they would have probably thought you were thinking more about a Nintendo DS or maybe playing Minesweeper on your laptop, right? That's what mobile gaming used to be back then. And today, mobile gaming esports are more mainstream and more popular than ever before. A big part of that has been everyone having a device that can play awesome games. But an even bigger part has been the advent of fast, reliable, ubiquitous, and affordable internet access, such as that provided by Globe, right? So I never imagined that my mom would get into Candy Crush and be so addicted to it. I never imagined my auntie would be going around chasing Pokemons in Pokemon Go, but that's the world we live in today. And since launching Arena of Valor last October in Philippines, we've seen an immense reaction from Filipino gamers. We had our first Valor Cup recently across Singapore, Malaysia, and Philippines. And we saw over 170 teams from Philippines sign up. This is by far the largest of any single country. The finals for the event were held in the Trinoma Mall up in Quezon City. And we had over 1,500 fans show up to cheer their teams on. And they were not disappointed because in the grand finals we had 2 Filipino teams. And eventually the team Will New Era emerged victorious. Big congratulations to them. Our partners at Globe were instrumental in helping us source the venue and also provide internet access. So thank you very much as well. And as an illustration of how fast and how mature mobile esports is today, we had the Arena of Valor International Championship in Seoul last year. The prize pool was a very cool $500,000 US. This year, for the AOV World Cup happening in July, in November actually, the prize pool is $550,000 US. So this is how far mobile esports has come today as well. Very fast change. On the back of success of the Valor Cup, we are very happy to be working with Globe on the next few Valor Cups. And not only will they be the official sponsor, but they're also bringing their content production, event organization expertise to the table. And we firmly believe this will provide even more engaging and exciting experiences for viewers and bigger and better tournaments for our players as well. And we have some exciting announcements for AOV specifically. So for the next month or so, anyone who purchases Globe's GoPro Go Surf 999 bundle will receive the hero Superman, yes, that Superman, absolutely free in their AOV account. So I don't have to tell you how awesome Superman is because he's Superman. So this is clearly an awesome deal. In addition, for the next 12 months, anyone that purchases any of Globe's Go Surf bundles will get free in-game items as well. So such as free rentals of free heroes. So look out for that. So we at Garena are very happy, very excited, and thankful to our friends and partners at Globe, Riot, Mineski for willing to put together the energy, their time, their resources to help grow gaming and esports here in the Philippines. Without them, gaming and esports will not be where they are today, and we certainly will not be able to bring forward all these new and exciting initiatives. Some might say we have come a long way, and I'll be the first to agree. At the same time, I believe we have a much longer road ahead for us to go, and we want to make gaming, esports even more mainstream than boxing, than basketball in the Philippines today. And to make gaming a career where it's as expected and as viable as any other career. I believe today marks a big step forward in that very direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jason Ang. Thank you. Thank you, Garena. Just a little bit about what happened with Garena. Last year, I went to the Internationals, the AIC 2017, to represent the Philippines. It was a show match. Guess what? You think we won? Nah, we got smoked. We got hammered by the best of China and the best of Korea. And I think we got 1 or 2 kills. And they obliterated us. But that's just the potential of gaming and how great